All right. Welcome to the Intern NE powered by Aksarben Podcast. This is the first one, which is why I was a little bit slow getting going. I was like, whoa. Not the other podcasts. But I'm Shonna Dorsey. I'm the Interim Executive Director of Intern NE. And I'm here with my two guest co-hosts for episode 0. Would you introduce yourselves, please?
I'm Mike Smith. I'm the co-founder of Rabble Mill. It's a youth-focused nonprofit here in Lincoln and Omaha. Yeah. Statewide. We do some statewide stuff.
Awesome.
Mike's awesome. Hi, I'm Justin. During the day, my full-time gig is working for a startup company here in town called Workshop. So I was one of the early employees there. But I'm also very involved in the community. So lead 1 Million Cups here in Omaha. Also on the board of a nonprofit, Scale Omaha, which is also, supporting our entrepreneurial community, and also started a kind of grassroots effort with some friends in the startup community, and that is the Nebraska Startup Job Mixer. So
yeah,
very, very involved.
That's great. We appreciate both of you. And so when I was thinking about who could I co-host with, I thought for sure 2 people that have been very active. And Justin, I've seen you around doing all the stuff that you do with the startup mixer, like you mentioned, and Mike just over the years being awesome and connected and helping people. So thank you both for agreeing to do this with us.
Of course.
So the way we're planning to run this show is over the next, however, we'll just keep going until we don't have any more guests, which will be never. But
we run out of interns.
yeah, for sure. But Mike and Justin will alternate hosting duties because it can be a lot. I totally get that. And then we'll just invite a guest, either someone who is a current intern, was an intern, hires interns, has had success with that, and they're all based in Nebraska. So before we go further, can you guys talk to me about why you agreed to do this?
Mike, you want to start out?
Does anybody tell you no? Would be my first. Yes. Okay.
Yes, they do.
That would be my first thing. I would say the opportunity to sit and talk about, I think it's a really important stage of life. Where you intern and kind of opens your eyes up to a lot of people. And I think we were talking back earlier, it's hard to run successful internships. And so hopefully this podcast can help folks figure out how to, 1, become good interns, and then 2, on the other side, help folks figure out how to manage an internship better. Mm-hmm. So I hope we can help people with that. But that's why I think it's an important time of life.
Awesome.
Yeah, this was a very personal kind of topic to me because I feel my internship back in my undergrad really set me up for a lot of the success I found in my early professional career, and got me plugged into the heartbeat of Omaha, which is just the networking scene and getting to know everyone in the business community. And it was the right opportunity at the right time. And frankly, I can only imagine, I feel like I'm so much further ahead based on my positive internship experience. So it's a very near and dear topic to my heart. And so I was like, absolutely. When you said this is what you were working on, I was like, oh my gosh, let's do it. Let's rock and roll.
That's really great. And it's true. It's like those experiences can make a big difference in a college student's life. I had my first internship when I was 28. And before then I was kind of bouncing around a little bit, not really sure what I wanted to do. And I had my first help desk internship at ConAgra back in 2008. So I guess people can do math and figure out how old I am. But anyway, that was great because I had a lot of great mentors on that team, and decided that, being an IC was where I wanted to be, but not, I was like, I'm not going to be a programmer, but at least I knew from experience working with mentors that that's what I wanted to do. So you're right. Mentorship, internships make a big difference. So we're going to keep this episode short, but let's wrap this up with what is one tip? So Justin, you're a recent intern. Mike, you hire interns. Yeah. So we'll ask you.
I think it's so cool that we are both, the co-hosts on both sides of the coin on that aspect.
Yep. I agree. I so agree. And so I would love your thoughts on how someone can be a great intern, and then also what made that experience good for you.
Yeah.
And then for Mike, when you go, would love to hear how employers can make great internship experiences, just your quick thoughts.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm happy to start on the internship experience side. I think the biggest thing that I learned, frankly, was just finding the right person that will mentor you and also push you outside of your comfort zone. That was, I think, what really set my internship experience apart from any others. I've always been very naturally inclined to be outgoing and spark up conversations with people in the grocery store line. But there is a difference between that and intentional connecting and like growing your network. And so that was one thing that like I was paid to go to networking events during my internship. Tom, my boss at the time, he was like, Justin, I want you to go do this and go experience it. And like, it's going to benefit you personally. It's also going to make you just a better fit here for what we're doing. And so also find an area or an opportunity that will allow you to do things that are frankly over your head for the level of experience that you have. That was very much my experience. And it was daunting, but looking back, I was like, goodness gracious, this set me up for all the things that I did later. So I'd say those are kind of my 2 tips.
Yeah. And more to come from you, we know. So that's great.
Love it. I would say from the business perspective, and you kind of alluded to some of these things, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. And I think if you expect to hire people who are just going to show up and get it, that's why internships end up such a disappointment for most people. And you end up like the old thing of like stacking chairs and serving coffee because you don't know what else to do with your interns. But I think if a business is serious about, hiring kids who maybe didn't go to college, hiring kids who come from a different background, like if you're actually serious about opening up opportunities into your company for different pathways, the internship pathway is probably going to be the way in. It's how you're going to meet people. It's how other kids are going to find out about you. And so I would say for companies, what we're seeing is the ones who take their internship process really serious, tech companies who have like, we onboarded them all together, we offboarded them all together, they're in this giant cohort and like it means something and they'll work really, really hard for you. Yeah. It's when you're like, oh, we've got this one intern or these 2 interns and it's like
kind of on an island.
Exactly. And 1 or 2 is a pariah. Like a couple kids getting this experience and having it's not enough to build some sort of momentum for other kids to hear about it. And that's what you need if you're going to have a successful internship is more applicants every year. And that's just a part of it is getting good applicants. But I think that you hear a lot of businesses talk about we want to be able to hire different looking folks. We want to be able to hire people who didn't just take the traditional path, but they don't create a way in. And you got to kind of create that way. And so I would say for some businesses, especially post-COVID, now that we're getting into this like new era of Gen Z coming into the workplace, you're going to have kids who have a very weird history. They took 2 years off from college. They took time away. Like there's going to be those moments. So I think creating a really structured but fun and I would say something where you push kids. If you can create that and you grow that over time, you'll see these kids show up year after year. You'll see interns show up time and time again. There's places like Huddle in Lincoln, Company Cam in Lincoln. Their interns are the most proud people walking up and down those offices. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're the ones walking around town, rocking their shirt the most stoked. And so you can get a lot out of interns, but I think you got to really structure it well and you have to have some expectations for them.
Yeah, that's really great. And I think too, just thinking about those smaller companies who can only hire 1 or 2 just because of capacity, that's one of the things that we're looking at supporting through internNE powered by Aksarben is these peer networking events so that those companies that don't have like 10, 20 interns that can kind of form a little community can start to build that outside of their company, but with their peers. So more to come on that.
Love it.
But anyhow, thank you again for doing this with me. I look forward to many great conversations with you and all of our guests. And just thank you for making time for this. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we're so excited for this.
Of course, always.
Thank you.